who has the better basketball culture? Is it Chicago or is it New York City? So since the show is being filmed in Chicago and I got the home court advantage, I'll let you go first, my man. The floor is yours. Go ahead and give your thoughts on why New York City has the best basketball culture.
Well, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the Chicago basketball culture. I've actually lived in Chicago for a while and covered a number of AAU teams that were there and some of the city teams as well, the high school teams. So there's a great culture of basketball in Chicago. However, my friend, there is only one New York City, and I could start in a number of ways. We could start with New York having the world's most famous arena. You could ask LeBron James to Michael Jordan to Sean Kemp. I'm just throwing out names. To Hakeem Olajuwon, to Shaquille O'Neal, to Allen Iverson. They all say they want to play at Madison Square Garden Arena. So that's just one thing, where the professional teams play. How about if you ask guys where they want to play? There's some street ball. Rucker Park, synonymous with the sport of basketball. How about Dyckman? These things are synonymous with the sport of basketball. And then you just look at the type of players or the number of players who have come out of New York, whether it be a Chris Mullin, whether it be a Tiny Archibald, Michael Jordan, born in Brooklyn. How about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Hey, listen. How about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who before LeBron James passed him was the all-time leading scorer in NBA history? You could even go to the coaching ranks. Lenny Wilkens, New York. Larry Brown, New York. From when they start in amateur basketball all the way to where they get up to the pros, you can't wipe the sport of New York or the city of New York outside of the basketball realm. It is littered all over the place, from the executive realm to the amateur realm. It's New York City. And on top of that, and just the cherry on top, Cam, New York happens to just be the #1 media market in the world. So therefore, by that alone, by it being able to promote basketball, by being the largest media market, that also helps the case as well.
See,
I rest my case.
See, that's really selfish of you as a New Yorker, man, because you're trying to take all of my time, as you New Yorkers do, to plead your false case on why you have the best basketball culture. But if you can scan the QR code on the left side of the screen, get in on the action. Again, if you rep Chicago or New York, or if you played in both cities in some form or fashion at some level, then go ahead and put your votes in right now, because Chicago is. Do I even have to say anything?
Because Chicago is leading the votes for people in New York to vote on?
No, people know the real hair.
This is ridiculous.
I say this all the time. You cannot lie to the people. You can't lie to the people. But then also that full screen that we have of the names of players from New York City, your whole debate and take should be invalid, because you have Rudy Gay on that list. You didn't even have Stephon Marbury up there. Who created that list for you guys, man?
That's how good it is that we can't even include Stephon Marbury. We can't even include him.
All right.
We can't even include him.
Let's go to the better names on the list when you talk about Chicago's own. Dwayne Wade, if you're talking championships, if you're talking gold medals, if you're talking about one of the best guards in NBA history, is Jordan, is Kobe Bryant, and then it's Dwayne Wade. And speaking of Michael Jordan, we know what he was able to do to help Chicago's status when it comes to basketball culture and the city of basketball. And I do not want to hear anybody from New York City saying Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn, so that makes him a New Yorker. That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. So
it's something in the water, bro.
There's nobody in Akron, Ohio claiming that Steph Curry is from Akron, Ohio, and he's made our basketball culture better because he was born in Akron. No, he's claimed in North Carolina. But back to my take on Chicago and why the richness of tradition and culture is better than New York City is because it's the amount of players that are going on to do so many great things from the high school level to the collegiate level and also at the NBA level. I talked about Dwayne Wade. Can we talk about the best, smallest player in NBA history, and Isaiah Lord Thomas III? Two-time NBA champion, a guy that redefined what it meant to be a point guard during his era, where he knocked off Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and even Michael Jordan. So Lord Thomas is a guy in Chicago that is one of the greats and the gods in the city. But also there's some dude, I think his name is Derek Martell Rose, the youngest NBA rookie ever in league history. We know what D Rose is and who D Rose is. In fact, New York City loves him so much in his time with the Knicks that he's become like a folk hero there in New York City. But it's the countless amount of players that have had success that have played in the NBA from Chicago. Anthony Davis is another name that I'll throw out, along with other players that are in the league right now, like Patrick Beverley, Taylor Horton Tucker. There's a consistency when it comes to Chicago players in the NBA, but also the greatness. And you brought up playground. Let me just throw in Billy the Kid Harris from the city of Chicago, a scoring machine. So I get and I respect New York. I got family and friends out there. But when it comes to basketball culture, it's Chicago. And Chicago is dominating the poll right now, 75%.
So I rest my case. I rest my case.